Well, the U.S. and Russian navies are accusing one another of unsafe action after two warships almost collided. I want to show you this video. It shows the near miss between the USS Chancellorsville and a Russian ship in the Philippine Sea. The two ships almost intersected with one another earlier today. Acting Defense Secretary Patrick Shanahan accused the Russians' actions of putting the safety of the American crew at risk.
The behavior is unsafe and unprofessional. We'll have military-to-military conversations with the Russians, and of course we'll march them. But to me, safety at the end of the day is most important. It will not deter us from conducting our operations.
CBS News national security correspondent David Martin joins us now from the Pentagon. So, David, what exactly happened here?
Well, as you mentioned, there are two competing versions, with each country blaming the other, but the visual evidence supports the U.S. version, and that is that the USS Chancellorsville, a cruiser, was on a steady course and speed as it recovered a helo on its flight deck, and the Russian destroyer came up on the American ship, coming at it from the right rear and then angling in toward it to the point that they came within 50 to 100 feet, and the captain of the American ship had to throw his engines into reverse. It's called all back full in the Navy. Throw his engines into reverse in order to avoid a collision. And the rules of the road for navigating at sea are pretty clear, that when a ship is conducting flight ops, it has the right of way, and other ships are bound to maneuver to stay out of its way. And in that video, if you look in the upper right-hand corner of it, you can actually see the helicopter hovering over the flight deck.
You know, David, how concerned would you say the Pentagon is with this? What kind of message might Russia be trying to send with this near miss? Well,
the question of whether this is a message is always sort of muddled by the fact that you don't know whether this incident was ordered by some higher headquarters or whether the captain of that Russian destroyer was just feeling feisty today. The destroyer had been shadowing a carrier task force that was operating in the Philippine Sea for some time, and when the Chancellorsville broke away from the rest of the ships to recover this helo, it could be that the Russian captain just saw a chance to cause some trouble here. But one thing is certain: if you look at that video, this wasn't inadvertent. You can see the crew, the bridge crew of the Russian destroyer out there on the port wing of the bridge, watching this unfold. So this is not something that they blundered into.
Yeah, it's fascinating to hear you say that, as we're looking at this image again. David, the Pentagon didn't have to release this video. Why do you think they did?
Well, officially, the policy is that they will release visuals of unsafe or unprofessional intercepts, either in the air or at sea. But the fact is, they release it when they feel like releasing it, and they don't release it when they don't want to release it. And usually, for instance, when it's a Chinese ship, and the last incident was with a Chinese ship when the U.S. was challenging the claims of sovereignty over some of those islands in the South China Sea. That one, the Pentagon didn't release. This one, I think people looked at that video and said it really shows that we were in the right, and I think that's why it was released so quickly.
Interesting, and it's fascinating after you put the context behind those images. David Martin, thank you very much for joining us.
Sure thing.